camera is rolling.
Sorry, so we had to just have a little break, but you were saying that you had an infection on your hand and you didn't want to go to the hospital because you had a bunch of community events organised. Just pick up where we left off.
Yes, I had an infection from my hand from washing up. I had a little break in my skin, and I had a community event, a car boot sale, which I was a coordinator for. The very next morning, and something like 30 odd people arriving at 6:30 in the morning, and I was ignoring my hand because it looked like nothing, but Esther was monitoring it and said that I had to go to the hospital. Now you get a little card when you're on chemotherapy, which is to give you to let any medical people know if you're seeking medical support that you need to be seen to with some urgency, because if you don't have any white blood cells or any defences, then an infection could potentially sort of be fast acting. So we went into Esther and I had a little bit of a tussle when I was trying not to go to the hospital, not to overreact, I thought, about this tiny little break in my skin. And Esther rang the 1300 health line in Queensland to ask for advice about it, and then came to me with the phone with the 1300 health line, and they went through a range of questions, obviously triage questions, and then their system told me I also had to go to the hospital. So I thought to humour Esther and the 1300 health line, I went off to the hospital, and they took me in, and then they found out I was neutropenic. I had like 0.000 something of white blood cells, and so they admitted me immediately, and then started transfusing various cocktails of antibiotics to try to kill off the infection. Excuse me.
And so when you were admitted with this infection, what happened? How long were you in the hospital, and what was the process like? Could you tell us about you being in isolation and quarantine, and the nurses being covered up?
When I was admitted, I was told that I was neutropenic, and you have regular blood tests when you have chemotherapy to see what your level of white blood cell count is, and to see whether or not you have any resistance to various things in the environment. When I went in, and they immediately gave me blood cells, took blood for, and then also did various culturing of the blood, and they admitted me to a ward. Excuse me. They admitted me to a ward, and I was in isolation. People had to gown up to come in and see me and put masks on, and they had signs on the outside of the door, in order that people who are unwell don't expose me to further germs or bacteria or whatever it might be, because I didn't have any natural body defences. And for several days they were monitoring my blood count, and then they gave me a booster of something to boost my white blood cells, and all the while though I was being transfused with the cocktails of different types of antibiotics. So I was in there probably for about 5 or 6 days, because as it happened, my own oncologist was on. It was the weekend when it occurred, and he was on holidays. It was a long weekend. There was a break on the Monday, and he came in on the Tuesday, and as it happened, I was also experiencing a lot of pain in my fingers and my my feet, and while we were there, I asked him, "Is this normal?" And it was identified that I was having a bad reaction to the different types